Hello, Five Finance family, and welcome to Flip It with Samara, a show designed to flip the narrative on how we view and use the power of tax planning in our personal and business lives. So, before I get any further into the show, I want to see who is rocking with us in the comment section. So, we have Angelica. Hello, Angelica. Welcome. Samurai, welcome to tonight's show. Thank you for joining. Wayne, thank you so much for joining. All right, so we know we have some people in the chat, so we know that this is going to be an engaging show, like always. So I thank you for being here tonight, right? Tonight we are going to be talking about health for the entire month of October. We've been coming before you week after week and talking about health, whether it's mental health or making time for yourself through time management or just the power of no. I think I talked about that in the first week, right? So we definitely want to bring on guests that are going to give fresh perspective to how they balance their lives in the entrepreneur role and in the health role, right? Because we want to make sure that we are healthy. Remember, I said that health is wealth. So tonight we have a special guest by the name of Terrence Prather, who's going to share with us his journey as a serial entrepreneur and how he does it from a healthy perspective. But before I get into that, I want to remind you that this is a live show, so I want you to be engaged, Five Finance family. So throughout this show, we are going to welcome your questions and your comments. In fact, we want you to definitely give us a lot of questions throughout this show, and we just are going to rock with y'all, okay? So let me know that you are out there if you are joining in recently. You got Evanescence Hair Salon. Sorry, y'all, I get excited when I see new people. Thank you so much for joining. So back to the show, right? So here our motto is that the wealthy don't start tax planning once they become wealthy, but rather use tax planning as a tool, right? I want to remind you of that motto because although we're talking about health for this month, I definitely want you to know that this is your joint if you want to learn about some tax planning tips as well. And that will be back on after we finish talking about health for the month of October, right? So definitely tune in week over week. We go live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and on Facebook Live. So definitely make sure that you come back next week as well because we're going to have another guest. But without further ado, I want to welcome Mr. Terrence Prather to the stage. Welcome, Terrence.
Hello, thank you for having me, Samara.
Yes, thank you for being here. So, full disclosure for our finance family, Terrence is married to Angelica Prather. And I know you guys have seen Angelica on the show numerous times because that's my sis. And so I had to have her husband on the show because he does a lot of the like back scene kind of work that my husband does to support both of us boss ladies in business doing the thing. So we appreciate you. But without further ado, I don't want to like take all of your shine. I want
Oh,
you to tell us about what you do as a serial entrepreneur.
okay. My name is Terrence Prather. I'm married to Angelica Prather, co-founder of pretty much every business that Angelica is. We're co-founders. We're both entrepreneurs in the marriage. I am a music producer also. I do make instrumentals and beats, major tone, and then just recently started a SaaS platform, an all-in-one platform called Dream Workflow. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it about
Wow.
myself.
So I love how you are downplaying how many businesses you have under your belt. Some of us are just trying to get one business off of the ground. But, sir, I feel like you named 3 or 4 businesses.
Uh,
Um, but I love it. I love it because that's what we want to know, right? How are you able to successfully be a serial entrepreneur without compromising your health? Because I feel like, and I'm going to just talk from my perspective, when I first started on the entrepreneur journey, like it was team no sleep, like for real. Like I was working my 9 to 5 one because I was still trying to build my business while I was working for someone. So I was working my 9 to 5 one, and then I would get off from that, and I would stay up until like 2, 3 in the morning, right? And then I'm
Mm.
back up, right, to get the kids up for school 6 o'clock in the morning. So
Oh,
literally, it was like team no sleep. But one thing that I realized very early on is that's not sustainable, right?
mm-mm.
And the whole point of you starting the entrepreneur journey, well, at least for me, is I wanted a true work life balance. Like, I know that that has been the conversation in corporate America for years. Like, they're trying to push that agenda, work life balance. But I feel like most businesses, they say it, right?
But
But in
don't do.
act, it's not that.
Right,
Yeah. Has
right.
that been your experience too?
As far as the corporate world,
Yeah.
well, I really haven't spent any time in the corporate world.
Okay.
Most I before I became an entrepreneur, I was in the Marine Corps for 16 years.
Oh.
Uh, and then got out of the Marine Corps after 16 years, and had a couple jobs after the Marine Corps, but weren't working out for whatever reason, and then decided to become an entrepreneur. As far as work life balance, I'm kind of still learning how to do that
Mm-hmm.
um, with a family, with also helping Angelica and also doing my stuff on the side. Also, I'm still trying to learn how to balance it. It's a continuous thing to try to learn. Um,
It
so,
it is. I mean, I can agree. And the fact that both of y'all are in this entrepreneurial space, I mean, it's like a partnership, right? It's like
right,
reinventing already your marriage partnership because you have a
right,
marriage partnership, and now
yes,
you've chosen to go into business as partners as well. So I know for me and my hubby, because we have a partnership as well, we have to draw clear lines right? As to when I'm operating as a partner of Five
right,
Finance and when I'm operating as the wife, right?
right.
Because you don't want the two to cause any rift. You know what I
Mm,
mean?
yes.
And so that in itself can be challenging when you
Mhm,
are in a partnership with your spouse.
mhm. It is definitely challenging, especially when both people are passionate about the businesses at the same
Mm,
time. And a lot of times we have to catch each other on, okay, we're done. Like we can talk about business in itself for like hours. So
well,
even in our businesses, even like until 9, 10 o'clock, sometimes conversations come up at 9, 10 o'clock at night about businesses. But like you
right.
said, there's at some point you got to draw the line. It's like, okay, this is we could talk about this tomorrow or finish this conversation tomorrow, and then go into um, husband and wife relationship.
Yeah, don't go any further. It's a PG-13 show. So,
No, I
no,
wasn't gonna go any further. I'm married. I could do, I could talk about that too.
you're right. You are
Yeah,
right. I mean, the Bible says the bedroom
it's,
is undefiled. All right,
yeah.
so you are right. Oh no, but I love the transparency, right? Because me and Ira are on like the same wavelength, but not so much. So
Mhm,
because my entrepreneur journey is through finance, right? So
mm.
for Ira, that's boring. Like he loves the benefits, but
Uh-huh.
not necessarily the process, right?
Mm,
So he was
that
like, you can keep all of that. Just tell me what's gonna be the end game, right? I just want to know what
right.
the benefits are. But I love that you all can like have those conversations because it's probably helping both of you, right? Make
Mhm,
decisions for your individual businesses and then the ones that you run together.
right.
Yep.
And we pretty much run every business together. I think the only business that we're not well, no, all the businesses that we have are together. We're both partners on all the businesses together. So yeah.
So how now tell me this because I want to make sure that we cover everything. So
Okay.
since you guys are partners together, right, and
Hmm.
you've been running these businesses, first, how long have you been trying like running multiple businesses?
I would say since 2021, I believe. Like
Okay.
we first started the Robin Laurel, the hairline during the pandemic. And then I we started Dream World Media Group, and then ended up going into the coaching, and then also into now adding the SaaS platform. So I would say around 2020,
Oh,
we've
wow.
been, yeah, 2020 is when it started.
And so since 2020, then it sounds like you're adding a business. Are you adding a business once a year? Like, what's going on here?
No, I'm not trying to purposely add. I'm a dreamer. I'm a huge dreamer.
Love it.
I like, and I can't keep my hands into one thing. And I
Hmm.
think and that's where Angelica comes in, and it's like, okay, look, like you need to, okay, we got enough now. Like, so
Right.
now we need to like bring substantial income into all of them.
I love
Uh,
it.
and don't need to add any more to our plates. Um, I want to get into, like, I had a clothing line for a while, and it I stopped it for a while because the pandemic, one, and then two, it just wasn't. You have to remember, things are not going to take off as quickly as you want it to take
Mm,
off.
right.
Uh, but I eventually want to bring back my clothing line. And then a lot of people don't know that I do have we have a nonprofit organization, but we're not promoting it at this moment in time. Uh, so, um, and I'm always wanting to add more, but I know at this moment in time, I don't need to add anything else. So that's where Angelica is like, okay, you need to bring your dreams down a little bit, just a little, just a tad bit.
It's not so much her telling you bring your dreams down. I
No,
think
not
she's
bring
like,
my dreams.
just
Yeah,
focus. Let's
focus.
just
Yeah,
focus on this thing, and then we execute this, and then we move on. Right. So
yeah.
we've been having a great conversation, but we do have
Th-
a question. I want to pause for the question. So we
Okay.
have a question from Mr. Samurai. This is for you, Terrence. He says, "How
Okay.
does your time as a Marine help you in your entrepreneurship journey?" That's a good question.
Oh, that's a very good question. I think because I have the logistics background from the military and the admin, it helps a lot in the entrepreneur. Like a lot of things sometimes Angelica won't be thinking about certain things, the logistics side of the house, and that's where I come in and help her out with the logistics side of the house. So that's how the Marine Corps has helped me, as far as that aspect. It's also helped me stay disciplined and stay consistent.
Mm, mm,
Um, so that's how it's helped me during this entrepreneur um, transition, and it's been tough. It's been tough because sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just go find a job and just
mm.
work for somebody else because
Listen, there's been many times I think me and you have had that conversation.
right.
so, so, like,
But then when I start trying to find a job, doors are closing. It's just like, nope, nope, no,
right.
or no responses. So I'm like, okay, like,
I I think it's God telling us,
mm,
Terrence, to like just keep our hand to the plow, right? And just keep
mm,
working our dreams. So,
right,
I mean, me and you have both talked offline
yes,
about like just, man, I'm gonna just go do, go work somebody's 9 to 5.
right.
And full disclosure, I tried it for like 2 days. 2 days, y'all. I tried it, and yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work.
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't work.
Especially when you get used to, like, okay, I don't have to be up at a certain time. Um,
Hello.
then you go back to trying to be like having someone tell you you need to be here at this time. It's like,
Right.
and
Clock
then
in.
yeah, clock in, and then
Who?
when they and then when they start irritating you, it's like, oh Lord, I could just I
I
could
do.
just go I could just go back into my peaceful entrepreneurship and struggle than having to
Hello.
deal with all the corporate stress.
Hello. You say
Yeah.
that.
Uh,
So like you said, and I totally agree, right? Even working for someone else, like working in corporate America, it comes with stresses. But we
mhm,
also know as an entrepreneur, right, there are challenges also. So
mhm.
tell us about one or two challenges that you have faced in your serial entrepreneur journey. And then if you can walk us through how you overcame those challenges.
Ooh, so some of the challenges that one of the biggest challenges I think for me that has been tough for me is work life balance. I have a family. I have two young kids. my wife and me, and then both of us being entrepreneurs, it sometimes is difficult when she has something to do and then I have something to do, and then both of our the young kids are not in school. We still have one here at the house, so it's like, ooh, she's some. We had to figure out something on how it would work. So usually, if Angelica is working, I'll usually spend the time with Journey during those hours that she's working, and then once she's done, sometimes when she's done, then I will do what I need to do on my end as far as what my part in my play, uh, what I play into the businesses.
Mm.
Uh,
So because
and,
both, I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to take a pause there because having work life balance is hard for
Hmm.
just one entrepreneur in the house. So to say that both of you all are on this entrepreneur journey and now you are both trying to have this work life balance, I can
Hmm.
see how that could be very challenging,
Right.
especially with two little ones, because I
Mm,
don't have little ones. I mean,
right.
my children are self sufficient. So I
Hmm.
mean, yes, I pray for you, brother.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
and
yes. Keep praying. Keep praying. Keep praying.
absolutely. So that was one of your challenges was the
Uh,
work life balance.
And then another challenge. I'm very extreme. So meaning if something like needs to be done, like I used to procrastinate a lot
Mm-hmm.
on a lot of things that needed to be done, and now I'm starting to find out, especially with the multiple businesses, I can't no longer procrastinate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was a challenge that I had to overcome. And also another challenge is putting things in priority
Mm.
prior to prioritizing what needs to be done. What's the most important thing that needs to be done, putting that first, and then so on and so on.
And that's very important because as an entrepreneur, I know everything is a fire, right? Like at least that's how it seems. Like you got
Mm-hmm.
so many fires that you got to put out throughout the day. But what has helped me is, like you said, prioritizing. So okay, everything's a fire, but maybe this fire isn't spreading as fast or as big as this other fire. So let
Right.
me let me put that down on the list and let's put out the bigger fire first.
Right.
And also that helps with my mental health. Listen,
Mhm.
I'm in this space right now. I'm not trying to be stressed. So I love me. I tell people that all the time. I love me. And so I
Mhm.
got to make sure that I'm taking care of me. And it sounds like, although you face these challenges, you've also developed some things that help you through these challenges or have helped you overcome them. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So
So,
talk to us about that.
so with the prioritizing, just writing them down in priority.
Mm,
Also my things to do list. I have a whiteboard in my office that I now started to write stuff down. Um, which I did it in the military, but being out since 2017,
mm,
I can't. So if you're not, I stopped practicing it
right.
until, and then until most recently, it's like, okay, I got to go back to writing stuff down
Right.
and prioritizing. I've already said one another challenge was with both of us being entrepreneurs and spending
Hmm.
time, splitting the time up with the little one that's still here, my daughter. Is while she's working, I'll spend time with Journey, and then vice versa once
Man.
she's get done.
Yep.
So that's been working out pretty good. And then what I recently realized too, being on a schedule has helped. It's well, the few days that Angelica was gone at a wedding, I stayed back with the kids, and it helped me realize getting on a schedule, like starting to cook at 4, and then feeding them by 6, getting them bathed, and getting them into bed by 8. Um, being more organized has helped is going to help too. So,
Okay. So you are speaking my languages, okay? Like organization, prioritization, like
mhm,
all of that is a must if you want to make sure that you are doing business the right way, right?
right.
So it's all about creating a position of peace, I feel
Mhm.
like, for you. And that's
Yes.
what prioritizing things and using that whiteboard, right?
Right,
To
right.
keep things organized. I love the setting a schedule. That is key
Yes.
because when I was not doing that, I found myself working more hours. But when I like planned out my day and set
Mhm.
schedules for things and I started blocking my calendar too, bro, like that's what I had to do. I had to start blocking my calendar so that
Wow.
people wouldn't get on my calendar so I made time for myself. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Yes.
and I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that until about 6 months ago. And I finally
Yeah.
had a conversation with somebody because I had a little mini meltdown and they were like, block your calendar. Block an
Oh,
hour out of your calendar for yourself. And
right.
don't do anything on the computer. If you're eating lunch, eat lunch. If you need to go outside, go outside. Feel the sunshine on you. I mean,
Mhm.
but you have to make sure that you are not only prioritizing things that are important for the business, but you got to prioritize your health. You know what I
Right.
mean? So,
Right. And
I,
that was one of the things I had to understand too, because when I first started, going outside wasn't a priority for me. It's like I don't
mm,
like what's priority is getting these businesses up and running and
mm-hmm.
doing whatever needs to be done. But now that I've started going back outside, getting fresh air, this morning I went for a 4 mile walk this morning. I
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So you know, but yeah, putting time aside for yourself,
Right.
and blocking those certain times is important.
Absolutely, 100%. So we got one more question. So Samurai asks, oh, this is a question for both of us. I'll let you go
Oh,
first since you're the guest. He says,
okay.
do you find it rewarding to have a business partnership with your spouse?
Oh, okay. I find it rewarding. Um, I don't find that there's a I don't think it's really a struggle. I think the struggle comes in when both partners are not on the same page, um, and that's also putting boundaries up,
Mm,
as far as when it comes to the businesses, because both of us want the businesses to succeed. I mean, we could literally be up until 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night working on the businesses, but
hmm
you have to put up those boundaries. I feel like it just depends on if both people in the relationship are on the same page and put up those boundaries. Like, okay, here's the cutoff time. We're done working at 4:30, 6 o'clock. Like 6 o'clock is the
Right,
cutoff time. We're done,
right,
and the rest of the time is spending time with the kids, getting the kids ready for bed, and then the rest of the evening, the rest of the night is spending time with each other.
right. Yep. I mean, absolutely. And that's what I first mentioned, right? Like
Mhm.
drawing those clear lines, right? And
Right.
totally separating, business from,
Hmm.
marriage life and making sure that the conversation is like cut off at a certain time, I think is absolutely key. Like
Right.
after we finish with this live, we're done
Hmm.
for the night, right? This is no longer five finance. Like
Oh,
then it's just me and my hubby time.
yeah.
But I agree. Like, I don't think that it has any challenges. I think actually, um, I'm blessed to have
Mm,
a partner who is not only my partner in marriage, but my partner in business because
mhm.
I feel like your partner goes hard for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I feel like it's because he got just as much skin in the game as me. So my
Mhm.
husband goes hard for me. Like,
Mm.
he is my biggest cheerleader. He's my biggest supporter, and I absolutely love it. And he would
Yeah.
tell anybody, you're not gonna praise my wife more than I do." You know what I mean? Like he
I
makes sure that
can't
he.
nobody praise my wife
That's
better than I
right.
can, so
That's
besides
right.
God. Besides God.
Right, there you go. And
Yeah.
that's how it
Yeah.
should be, right? God
Yeah.
first, God
Right.
first, of
Yep.
course.
Yeah.
But we had comments. I want to make sure I read some of these comments. So Samurai says, "Oh man, she really must love her hubby." Yes, I do love my hubby. Um, Evanescence Hair Salon, Miss Darnita is saying, now imagine running a business and being a single parent. I'm doing it though. Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Darnita.
Yeah.
Like
I
that is tough. So I
I
tip
can't
my hat to you,
yeah.
ma'am. All right. You are
Yeah.
doing the thing for sure. Angelica says, listen, I love having a partnership with him. Oh,
Oh, I I love having a partnership with her too. It's such a
oh. Like my brother said, it's probably going to be snoo snoo time. I'll
yeah.
tell you what that means later on. Um, but no, like I absolutely love it. And I love that we were able to connect with another
Mhm.
couple that, we can talk to and who
Right.
understands some of the challenges that comes with, doing a business or having a partnership with your spouse. So I just want to say thank you and Angelica so much for pouring into our lives.
Um,
And then thank you for sharing this with the Five Finance family as well.
you're welcome, and I thank you guys. It's a blessing that we met you guys too. I mean, so we like family now.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. You
you
better know it.
you
You
can't get
bet.
rid of us now.
That's right. It's like roaches. Once you let, no, I'm just playing. No, but I
Yeah.
absolutely,
Even
go.
though Ira don't respond when I hit him up every morning, he
You
probably look
know,
at
he
he
got
probably look at his text messages like, "Dang, this dude is nonstop."
again.
Again?
No, no.
Nah,
But
it's all
yeah,
right.
definitely, it does make a difference. I think having that partner that's going to cheer you on and keep you motivated and
Mhm.
keep you grounded too,
Right,
right? I mean,
right.
because I love the aspect that if my husband feels like I'm not doing something that's in the best interest of the business, like he's quick to say that, babe, I
Mm,
don't know if you should, pull the trigger
right.
on that just yet. Let's try something else. So he definitely helps keep me grounded too.
That's good.
Yeah,
Whereas
yep.
Angelica definitely keeps me grounded, because if it was up to me, we have about 20 different businesses.
Right,
I'm just saying, she definitely keeps me grounded. Well, I'm going to this now. I started it. I'm going to this now. Start something else, or yeah. So
right.
she definitely keeps me grounded.
Well,
So
that's good because we both need it, right?
yes.
So listen, great conversation. I absolutely love your candidness. And is this the
Uh,
first time in front of the camera, sir?
it is my very first time in front of the camera. I didn't at first when you asked me, I'm like, ugh, I don't know. I like staying in the background and doing what I do in the background. But I can see how people love doing this. I think I can get used to doing this,
Yes,
being
and
in front of the camera.
you are a pro. Okay, this
Uh,
is like old hat. Like we just having a conversation, and I
yeah,
love it.
it's just a conversation, and that's
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 it.
that. Yeah. So
That's it, and that's all. And hopefully, what we said helps somebody out there who is listening, Five Finance family. Because, like I said, we just being truthful and honest, just with the things that we faced as
hmm
entrepreneurs, the challenges, and then what we're doing to overcome those challenges.
hmm
So Angelica's laughing. She got a bunch of laughing emojis. And then Samurai has another comment. He says, well, he is not a video version anymore. That is true.
that is true.
Yes, your
Yeah.
cherry has been popped. Sorry.
Oh, um, I don't
I'm
know if
sorry.
I like that particular context,
I'm
but
I'm
okay.
sorry. I'm sorry.
All
That
right.
was that
All
was the Michelle side.
right.
Y'all please forgive me.
Uh,
Earl White says, I have run a construction company for 30 years and I'm a bit concerned about bringing my wife on. What ways can I introduce her to come aboard? Ooh, that's a
ooh,
good
that's a
question.
good question. I don't know. Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, if you
'Cause-
can,
Oh.
Mr. Serial Entrepreneur, please.
Well, the first thing I would say, does she have an interest of coming on to the
Mm,
business? Because if she doesn't have an interest in coming on, then you know that's going to make it difficult and put a strain on you guys' relationship.
mm,
So I think the first thing should be is, if she's interested on coming on, then you also have to ask yourself, what are you concerned about bringing her on? What's the
mm,
concerns? Is it because of the field that you're in, the construction? And then what type of jobs, what kind of job, or what can she do to help the business?
mm.
So I think the first question is, does she even want to be a part of the business?
That's
And if
good.
so, and if so, then what is your concerns? What are your concerns on, why are you concerned on bringing her on?
That's a really, really good question. So, Earl, I hope that you heard what Terrence's response was because really, really good question. And hopefully that will get at least a conversation started with you and your
Right,
spouse
right.
on, when and where she can jump in, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, so then we have Samurai says, Earl White, let her run the business while you kick your feet up and relax. LOL. Okay, so I don't know if you want to take that advice, Earl. I would probably go with what Terrence said. But definitely, thank you so much, Terrence,
You're
for your
welcome.
time this evening. Oh, Angelica is asking Earl, what are your gifts? What are her gifts?
Oh,
So that's a
that's
good
a
one
good question.
too. That's a good
Yeah.
point of view. Right.
Yeah.
So
All right.
basically just piggybacking on what you were saying, Terrence, like what could she do? What value add? That's the word we
Yeah.
like to use in business, right?
Yeah.
Kind of value add are you bringing to the table?
Hmm.
So that's a conversation starter.
Hmm.
Mr. White, you can definitely ask, if she's interested, one, and then how would she be able to add value to the business, or what would she like to do to support the business?
Hmm.
So definitely hope that you take that into advisement when you start having that conversation, because I can say there are many benefits of
Hmm.
having your spouse as a partner. It's just, and the language is easy too,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah. It
mean,
is.
it's like they sometimes they know what you need without you even saying that you need it, right?
Right. Right.
And then sometimes they tell you what you need even though you don't want to hear it.
Now
But
that's true. That is
right,
definitely true.
right. But it's
Yeah.
just easy. I feel like it's
Yeah.
easy. Especially when you first have established a great friendship and a great
Hmm.
respect for each
Right.
other, like
Right.
then everything else is easy. That's how I
Hmm.
feel. Yep.
That's how, and I second that.
Yep. Yep. But again, I know I don't want to wrap this up if people keep
I
asking
don't.
questions.
I know. I don't either. Actually, I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm
No.
like, yo, I can
But
keep going.
right. But I want to be respectful of your time and I want to be
Uh,
respectful of everybody else's time. So thank you all for Finance Family for tuning in. And before we let you go, Terrence, please let the people know how to get in contact with you.
so you can get in contact with me on Instagram, where you can contact me on Instagram on Dream Workflow, which is an all-in-one platform for coaching businesses, big or small, even any type of business basically can use the platform. You can also contact me on Instagram on Dream World Media Group. I'm in the process of rebranding Dream World Media Group, but I am on that Instagram platform also. So that's where they can contact me. And they can also contact me through Angelica Prather,
Okay.
her Charger Worth Academy.
Hey,
Uh,
that's right.
yeah,
Okay, you better praise your
yeah,
pond.
yeah.
You
Oh,
better praise.
you know it. I'm gonna praise her all the time. Shoot.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. So there you go, people. And he's being so modest. So everybody, you heard the intro music, right? That headbanger music. Psh, Mr. Prather, that's your guy.
Oh,
So
you can also contact me on Major Tone Music also on Instagram. So
there
that
you go.
I'm sorry, I am being a little modest, I
You are
guess.
being so modest, sir, because I am so grateful that you were able to produce those one of a kind tracks, y'all. So don't be trying to
Yes.
sample my stuff because my lawyer will be contacting you, okay? So
Yes, those tracks. That's once in a lifetime track. Those
that's
tracks
right.
that she got, and it came with a certificate of authenticity too.
Hello, hello.
Yeah,
So I'm
so
protected, all right?
you
Um,
protect it.
right. But thank you so much, Terrence. It's been a great conversation. I am going to ask you to wait backstage while I wrap things up, but I will join you
Uh,
shortly. Thank you
all right,
again.
you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right. So, Five Finance family, thank you for tuning in for another episode of Flip It with Samara. I hope that the conversation that me and Terrence had tonight was helpful and enlightening. I hope we were able to answer all of your questions because it was just good conversation. I kind of forgot that y'all were like rocking with us, and I was just having a conversation with a friend, which is how it should be, right? But tune in next week. We're going to have another guest on, Miss Jovan Taylor. She is a clinician, a nurse practitioner, who's going to be talking to us about mental health and how important it is to guard that health, right? So, am I leading a healthy life? So, she's going to be talking to us about some things that we can do to help us lead a healthy life. So, make sure that you tune in next week for that, right? So, if you are listening to this via podcast, make sure you are subscribing to my podcast channel. We stream on Audible, Spotify, and Amazon Music, and on Apple Podcasts. So if you're listening to the podcast, make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button so you get a notification every time we release a new podcast. And if you want to connect with me personally, make sure that you visit my website, www.fivefinance.com, and you can book a free consultation with me. It can be a tax consultation or an accounting consultation, but all my consultations are free, so you get 30 minutes of my time. And if you're tuning in on YouTube, I almost forgot, make sure that you are subscribing to our YouTube channel. So, like I said, we stream live on YouTube and Facebook every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you are subscribing and hit that like button if you like this episode, right? So again, thank you, Five Finance family, for your engagement as always. Until next time, you all have a blessed and beautiful Tuesday evening. See you soon.